Welcome to the Vault XL. Thank you for joining me. This week's movie suggestion is Sightless, now playing on Netflix. Please check your Netflix itinerary for the said movie. Any movie suggestions are posted to my community board and at the beginning and during the live streams. Thank you for your time. The information I'm about to bring to you is discretionary. So just giving you a heads up of the material that I'm about to discuss. It is very harrowing. It is a very disgusting, vile piece of information, but it is also information that needs to be revealed because there are a lot of dirty human beings out here that assault children, and people need to be aware, especially women. You need to be very careful of the people you have around your children, meeting people, dating people. We're going to chop up this scenario, this very dire scenario, and I'm going to ask all the pertinent questions naturally because it is a very horrific tale. But we will dissect this case, and when I get an update pertaining to any new information pertaining to the status of the survivors, I'll bring that to you. But the perpetrator is no longer alive. I'm going to bring you that said information. Thank you for your time. Once again, movie of the week, Sightless, now playing on Netflix. KHOU 11 is the source.
Tonight, 4 people are dead after an apparent murder-suicide in Galena Park.
Sheriff Ed Gonzalez says a man killed 3 teens, then himself. Now, we want to warn you, the details here are disturbing. This happened at a home on 2nd Street near North Main and Clinton Drive at around 10:30 last night. Tonight, relatives shared with us that the victims were a neighborhood friend and 2 sisters. The sheriff says their mother's boyfriend shot them. The sheriff says the man then sexually assaulted a 12-year-old before turning the gun on himself. We were told that 12-year-old got away with the 1-year-old daughter of the 19-year-old. We spoke with a neighbor who helped the young girl.
Llevaba traía una bebé y ella no traía ropa. No traía ropa, estaba desnuda. Y ya salió la otra vecina de aquí y nos la trajimos, la abrazó y la pasó para adentro, le puso ropa.
The sheriff's office says the children's mother was not home when this happened. Investigators say right now the shooting appears to have happened after an argument. Tonight, a vigil is being held in the neighborhood where those teens were killed. Maria Aguilera joins us live from there. Maria, this is a tragedy all the way around.
Cheryl, it's just terrible what this family is going through. They tell me they are in shock and they can't even begin to process this. They do say they are thankful to the neighbors that helped the 12-year-old girl and the baby get to safety. Now, here is a photo that the family shared with us of 2 of the victims. They are the sisters of that 12-year-old survivor. There's 19-year-old Sayuri, who family tell us was 6 months pregnant and is the mother of the 1-year-old baby who also survived. And then there's 13-year-old Melanie. The 14-year-old, we're told, was a friend. Now here tonight, family, friends, and neighbors gathered with a pastor to pray for the teens and the baby. The mother tells us she is not doing well at all and finds it difficult to even speak. She asked a family member to speak for her, and she was also struggling to come up with words, but they did share a little bit about the teens.
It's hard. They were so happy. They were happy girls. They're always smiling. Even if I feel bad, they always have a positive comment, a positive, even for her. Always. Both of them.
Right now, the family says they welcome anything the community can help with for the funeral arrangements. Now, tonight, we saw some community members, strangers to the family, drive up and offer their condolences and also give the mom some donations to help. Now, the family is still here tonight. They are comforting each other at this vigil. In Galena Park, Maria Aguilera, KHOU 11 News.
Glad to see they're getting that kind of support this evening. Thanks so much, Maria. We know these stories are difficult to hear. If you or someone you know needs help, there are some resources out there. Here are a few. You can also find these numbers on khou.com.
Are you sick of having issues with your webinars?
Sorry about that. I was trying to go back so I could play the get the information for anybody that needs any assistance in that area pertaining to health crises. 1 second, if I can see if I can pull these numbers up. Dia Houston, if you need any type of resources, you can dial 713-981-7645. Houston Area Women's Center, 713. Can't even see that number. 528-2121, and Family Time Crisis Center, 281-446-2615. Once again, Houston Area Women's Center, 713-528-2121. Thank you for your time. KHOU 11 is the source. I'm going to bring you more detailed information pertaining to this very dicey subject matter coming out of the Houston area. This is happening in Galena Park, if anyone's familiar with this area. I am not, but this is where this atrocity took place. 1 second while I bring up this article. Oh, mercy. This is bad. For those of you who are following national news, another balloon has been spotted floating over Hawaii, Honolulu. I do not know what's going on with China, but China, you need to keep all the friends that you can, considering you are one of the major distributing countries of goods that are shipped all around the world. But no, you don't want to make enemies with the United States and other countries. Thought I'd throw that in there for those who are following national news. A pilot has spotted a white large balloon floating near Honolulu, Hawaii. Thank you for joining me. KHOU.com is the source. Galena Park murder-suicide. Man kills girlfriend's daughters, family friend himself. Family members said the victims were 19-year-old Sayuri Gill, her 13-year-old sister Melanie Torres, and a family friend. They said Gill was 6 months pregnant. So the 19-year-old that was murdered, she was 16. The 19-year-old sister Sayuri was pregnant, 6 months pregnant. She also have a 1-year-old that did survive. Her 13-year-old sister Melanie was killed, and then the family friend was killed. A 19-year-old was murdered that was 6 months pregnant. A 13-year-old sister was killed, and a family friend was killed. The 19-year-old who was 6 months pregnant also had a 1-year-old that survived with another sister, 12-year-old, I believe, that was sexually assaulted by the perpetrator who killed himself. It's a lot to dissect. So I want to make sure I repeat this so there will be no misunderstanding in the chat. 4 people were killed Saturday night in an apparent murder-suicide in Galena Park, according to Sheriff Ed Gonzalez. It happened around 10:30 p.m. at a home on 2nd Street near Main Street and Clinton Drive. According to Gonzalez, a 12-year-old called the Galena Park Police Department and said she was sexually assaulted by her mother's boyfriend, who also shot people at the house. She told police that she grabbed her 1-year-old niece and ran to a neighbor's house for help when she got the opportunity. Now, it has been said that the girl who ran, this 12-year-old I'm speaking of, she was naked. She did not have clothes on, running to safety. When authorities got to the home, they found 3 girls who had been shot to death. According to family members, Sister Sayuri Gill, 19, Melanie Torres, 13, were found dead. They said Gill was 6 months pregnant and the mother of the 1-year-old who survived the incident. The 14-year-old family friend was also killed in the shooting. So we have 3 female victims. 2 are sisters, Sayuri, 19, and Melanie, 13. The 14-year-old girl is their friend. 3 victims, including the shooter, makes 4. A 38-year-old man was found dead in the master bedroom with an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound, authorities said. According to Gonzalez, the man was in a relationship with the homeowner, who is the mother of Gil Torres and the surviving 12-year-old girl. Authorities said the mother wasn't home at the time of the shootings. Gonzalez also said the suspect was not the father of any of the girls he killed. Gonzalez said the man started shooting at the girls following an argument. He shot Gil before shooting Torres and the 14-year-old family friend, officials said. He then assaulted the 12-year-old. Repeat, he kills the 19-year-old first. He kills Torres second. He kills the 14-year-old friend third. And then he proceeds to sexually assault the 12-year-old. And he told her to run for her life. He then proceeded to sexually assault a 12-year-old that was inside the residence. Gonzalez said after that, he told her to go ahead and run from the house. She did so and ran out of the residence without any clothing, quote unquote. The 12-year-old survivor was taken to an area hospital to be treated for her injuries, the extent of which are unknown. It's just a tragic situation. It makes no sense. It's all senseless and it's very tragic, Gonzalez said, but our investigators will try to put all the pieces together, and our condolences go out to the victims' families and everyone impacted by this in the entire city as well. The family asks those who would like to donate to send an email to Susie Villafranco, all lowercase, at iCloud.com. Once again, if any of you in the Houston area have any donations, please send them to SUSY Villa. It's all one word, Franco, Susie Villafranco, all lowercase, at iCloud.com. Neighbors react. Yeah, I guess they would react after this. Neighbors said they were in disbelief and shock. Some have lost sleep over the incident. No, I couldn't. Just thinking about those young girls losing their lives, it's just unbelievable, one neighbor said. Maria del Consuelo Reyes Hernandez jumped in to help when she saw the 12-year-old and 1-year-old survivors. She said she saw the girl who wasn't wearing any clothes carrying the baby. She and another neighbor brought the girls in and gave them some clothes. Reyes Hernandez said the girl told her what she had just endured. She said the girl told her that she ran from the house after she was sexually assaulted and told that she would be killed unless she left. This is very strange information. In Houston, domestic and family violence cases have increased at an alarming rate. Victims often suffer in silence because they feel scared, helpless, or ashamed. If you or someone you know is a victim of domestic violence, here are some discreet ways to reach out for help. The Houston Area Women's Center has a 24-hour hotline for victims of domestic violence at 713-528-2121 or 1-800-256-0551. You can also call the Family Time Crisis Center. They are also open 24 hours a day at 281-446-2615. And then we have the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE. That's 7233. 1-800-799-7233. Crisis text line. Text start to 88788. If you need verification for the information that you have heard during this live stream, KHOU 11 is the source of the audio, which is in the YouTube queue and my community board. And this article is also of KHOU 11. Let's chop up the information. Thank you for your time. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $ Big Andrew, 129 Cash App. All stickers and chats are welcome during the live stream. What in the hell did I just read? 19 years old, beautiful girl, pregnant, 6 months, 19. Also had a 1-year-old. The 1-year-old is alive. Her sister is also dead. Their friend is also dead. The shooter is also dead. He kills 3 girls after an argument. What were they arguing about? Why would he kill the girls and then proceed to rape the 12-year-old sister and tell her to run for her life if she wants to live? So she's able to grab the 1-year-old child belonging to her 19-year-old sister, who was also 6 months pregnant. Please follow the information. Why were they arguing? Arguing over what? Was he trying to sexually assault one of the other girls? Was he caught touching them, groping them, saying something out of the way, and somebody said something and it got heated in there, so he decides to grab a gun because he knows shit's getting ready to hit the fan. Somebody's getting ready to call the mama, the butcher, the baker, the damn police. So he says, hell, I'm just going to kill everybody in sight, on sight. But what makes no sense, you're going to kill the 3 girls and then rape the 12-year-old and tell her to run. That makes no sense. Not that I want him to kill anybody else, but it makes no sense. Because now you have to ask yourself, why would you kill these kids and then go rape the 12-year-old? I'm confused. Go run for your life, is what he tells her, before you get killed. So why did he spare the 12-year-old? You just raped her. So that makes you wonder, what the hell were they arguing about in this house? This is a crazy story. And the mother, sitting here in this interview, quiet, can't talk. Someone speaking on behalf of her. So now we have to ask the mother in Spanish, did you know that this man was molesting or touching or groping your children? Number 1. Did you know that he was a pedophile, rapist, sadist? Does he have a criminal background? How long have you been dating him? They say you don't have any children by him. The girls that died were not any of his children. Does he have children, girl children? Once again, does he have a criminal background? Who is this guy? He's dead now, but who was he in life? Because I got a feeling he was a dirty bird. So now you also have to ask, was he living in the house with the mother and her girls? Did the mother see any improprieties with this man around her children? Did she know of him doing anything to her children, touching her children? Who is the baby daddy of the 19-year-old? Checkmate. Because my mind started wandering. Dear God, who is the baby daddy of the 19-year-old? And the 1-year-old she has. She was 6 months pregnant. Who was that baby's father? And who's the father of that 1-year-old? Who's going to now take, I was going to say, who's now going to take care of these kids? I guess the mother, but I'm sure there'll be a state investigation. They're not just going to let you walk around with that 12-year-old and that 1-year-old. And Houston has more cases of child abuse, neglect as of late. As you heard in this commentary pertaining to domestic violence, they've got a little bit of everything. Sadism, child molestation, rape, kidnapping, murder. Houston is off the damn chain. Houston area, let me clarify. Hell yeah, the state is going to be involved. Why would they not? Because what they're going to ask themselves is, mother, where were you while this man is arguing with your children and shooting your children and then raping your 12-year-old? And why did he let her go? Were they arguing because he was trying to touch some other girls and it got heated, so he decided to grab a gun? What? He's a nut. He was a nut. Why did he shoot those kids? This is crazy to me. The story is off. Now, what are we dealing with here? He was a psychopath, sociopath, what? Make it make sense to the queen. There's something very strange about this story. Why is a grown-ass man arguing with a 19-year-old and some younger kids for what? What were they arguing over for it to get serious enough for him to say, I'm going to shoot these kids? I think something nefarious was going on in that house. And he knew somebody was going to do something, say something. So he just shot everybody and shot himself. So usually when people shoot themselves, it's because they've done something wrong to the parties in the house. That's usually how that works. And due to the fact that these are all females, he's been touching more than just raping that 12-year-old. He's probably been touching the 12-year-old, and he's probably been touching the other girls. Possibly the friend too. Don't know how often she visits. Whose child was that? This story is deep. Then we have a mother that can't talk. Somebody speaking on behalf of her. Naturally, she's going to be interrogated thoroughly by the police. DHS is definitely going to be involved because minors were involved. And they're going to see if this woman is even fit to be having children in her household. Because they're going to ask her, where were you? Were you at work? Were you gone? Were you partying? How often do you leave your children unattended? Does this man live in your house? Did he pay bills? Did you know of him doing anything nefarious with your children? Any other improprieties of men and your children? Somebody gonna have to speak some damn English. I said that. I said that. Ain't gonna be none of that no comprende. No. No. This is past sad. This is pathetic. Because what is going to be interesting is what the 12-year-old has to say. Because she ran out of that house naked with a 1-year-old niece. So what will that 12-year-old tell or has told the police about what was going on in that house, what the argument was over? Had he had sex with the other girls or touched any of the other girls inappropriately at any other time besides that night? Had he also been touching her any other time besides that night? How long he's been dating the mother? Did he live there in the house? Was he the sole provider of the house? And what else has this dirty bird been doing before he killed himself? I see a trend lately of people just saying, I just don't give a damn about myself. I don't give a damn about myself, so naturally I can't give a damn about you. So I don't mind assaulting you, hurting you, lying, manipulating, whatever, and then just blow your damn brains out and then shoot myself. So what I would like to tell anybody with that thought process, do the world a favor. Kill your own self. That's what you do. You're miserable, glutton for punishment. Then take your own life. But don't go out here killing other people, shooting other people, molesting, raping other people. Just kill your damn self. You don't want to live. You're unhappy. You're miserable. Kill yourself. You don't have the right to go out here sexually molesting and murdering and raping people, then say, well, I think I'm going to be caught now. So now I'm just going to shoot the victims. You've already raped them. You've already stolen them. Stolen their body. Right? Then you want to shoot them or stab them. What they say, insult to injury. Just ridiculous. And this mother better hope that they will even allow her to keep her other child and this niece, this other baby, her grandbaby. Because if that 12-year-old starts chit-chatting that somebody's been touching her, same guy or others, I do hope the state would say, well, you can't keep this kid or this grandbaby. because that's probably what's going to be said. You just don't wake up and shoot a house full of girls and then say, yeah, let me go rape this 12-year-old over here. And then tell the 12-year-old, you better run so I don't kill you too. That makes no damn sense. You're the one with the gun. You just killed 3. So why didn't he kill the 12-year-old? I'm curious. And many people are going to ask that question. He just killed 3. So why didn't you kill the 12-year-old and the 1-year-old? Why did you kill the other 3? So it leads me to wonder if he's been doing something with the other girls. Because what's the difference between the 3 versus the 12-year-old? Nothing. They're all girls. And the 2 sisters they were beautiful. The 19-year-old was already 6 months pregnant. So I have to ask myself the logical question, who is the father of that baby? And I didn't hear that baby survived. 6 months old would be hard to survive. Please tell me it's not this boyfriend, the mother's boyfriend. Because how devastating would that be? Besides what just took place on this Saturday evening, is to find out that the 19-year-old was pregnant by her mother's boyfriend. And then you'd have to ask, well, then who's the father of the 1-year-old? Please tell me he wasn't the daddy of the 1-year-old. I'm just saying. Because she's having babies awfully young. They say that he was not the father of any of the girls that lived in the house. This is bad. Now all these kids are dead. Random kids over at their house playing or whatever, hanging out. She's dead. So where are her parents? And why didn't her parents speak? I found that odd. Now that I sit here and assess the situation, where are her parents? You know, what the hell really was going on in this house? Yeah, I'm going to ask those questions because I've learned from experience in dealing with grown people that a lot of people condone a lot of nefarious activities with adults and children. We are now hearing of human trafficking more, people selling their children, selling other people's children, pawning off children to grown people. You heard of that case with the white woman pawning off her biracial child to some grown-ass Negro. He ended up raping that little girl in some abandoned house or something. See, you don't know people. What type of animal would sell their kid to a grown man for sexual purposes? And it's hard to fathom that. In your head, you can't think that a person would be that cruel to sell their own child for sex in exchange for drugs, money, whatever. And it's not to say that this woman sold her children, but what I'm just speaking of sadism in general is that you don't know people and you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. And you hear of these stories of kids getting kidnapped. You know, kids walking on the street, going to the schoolhouse, school bus, whatever, out having fun with their friends. They get kidnapped and then sold into, sexual slavery. But then you also have the flip side of people are nasty. They sell their kids, either a mother, a father, an auntie, hard up for money, drug addicts, and they sell their damn babies, boys and girls too. Boys, I'm sure there's some boys who have been pawned off, sold for sexual, Jesus. And it's, you know what I mean? It's just human traffic, rather. This ain't good. And I pray that this mother did not have knowledge of this man fondling her girls. Because a lot of women turn a blind eye to sexual molestation and also rape. They know something's not right. The guy always wanting to be around the girls, always wanting to touch them and hold them and want the girls to sit in his lap, and he's rubbing their hair and rubbing their face and always making compliments to the girls or saying derogatory things. Oh, you got a big old butt. Ooh, your breasts are getting big. You have men like that. They'll just say overt things to children, women as well, and the women, they won't say nothing. You know, you don't let men talk like that to your children. You don't allow him to talk like that to your sister or your mother. And I wouldn't even be with a man that talked like that to me or my children or my female acquaintances or family members. Some of you women think that's cute. Oh, he's just playing. He jokes a lot. Yeah, okay. There's nothing funny about joking about a woman's body parts. And one thing I've learned, besides people allowing sadism to go on in their households, is that people tolerate a lot of behavior that's unacceptable today, period. Especially through social media, the little nasty memes people like posting on their Facebook pages and TikTok, and saying derogatory things and putting up little nasty memes and posts on their Facebook timeline. Everybody's laughing and joking. Oh, you're so crazy, and oh, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. I don't indulge in that type of behavior. I don't indulge in that, and I don't think it's funny. Because what you're saying to the world is that behavior is cute. Laugh it off. Laugh at it. Oh, that's just Laquan. You know how he do. Oh, you know how Susie do, honey. She always posting crazy stuff. But you're condoning it. You're condoning it. And I can tell you now, if I'm going to be on Facebook, what I'm not going to do is be friends with anybody that would have that type of stuff on their page. Nasty memes, sexual content. You're not somebody I would want to be friends with on Facebook, IG, any of those apps. Because I'm not getting ready to look at that stuff pop up in a notification. Now, some people will be friends with people that have those nasty memes and, nasty conversations and talking filthy mouth talk. Every 5 seconds, they got to post something derogatory. I wouldn't even fraternize with anybody like that on Facebook or in person. And I'm seeing a trend of that, allowing nasty behavior. And then when something jumps off, such as a situation like this, everybody acts so damn shocked. Oh, my goodness, I can't believe he killed those kids and, oh, he raped a 12-year-old. Well, I always say, go to their Facebook page. Does he have a criminal background? So, does this man have a criminal background? Does he have any sexual sadism in his background? Is he also Hispanic? Hispanic male? Is he a legal citizen? I want to ask all those questions. 38-year-old man killed himself from a parent's self-inflicted gunshot wound. Master bedroom of the house. Mother wasn't home. In a relationship with the mother, who was the homeowner. He killed a 19-year-old daughter by the name of Sarah Gill, Miss Torres, and killed a friend. And then one child survived that was 12, and a 1-year-old, which belonged to the older sister, Miss Gill, the 19-year-old. And he raped the 12-year-old after killing all 3 of these people, these sisters, 2 sisters and a friend. I want you all to just listen at that for a second. He killed a 19-year-old sister, 13-year-old sister, and a 14-year-old friend, all females. The 19-year-old was 6 months pregnant and had a 1-year-old toddler. There was also a 12-year-old sister that was raped, ran for her life naked with the 1-year-old. Now you put that on paper. And you tell me the world ain't evil. People in this world ain't evil. What type of thing walks around touching, groping girls, boys? Kill them and then rape the 12-year-old after killing them. So we got some kids bleeding out for their life. A 19-year-old got a 6-month-old in her belly trying to hold on to life The mother's losing oxygen. The baby's losing oxygen. The mother's dying, if already dead. And while 3 people are lying dead, wherever he shot them in the house, he's now raping a 12-year-old. And that's not even something you even want to visualize. But just imagine that. 3 shot, boom, boom, boom. Then go get a 12-year-old and rape her. And then go off in a bedroom and shoot yourself. And then the 12-year-old takes off running into the street naked with the 1-year-old toddler. Nobody could tell me this world ain't fucked up. And sadly, this goes on every day. Sexual abuse, rape of children, infants, toddlers, young children, teenagers, and also adults. And I won't doubt this man was possibly doing something to those girls, and that's how an argument jumped off. Maybe one saw him touch the younger children. Maybe the 19-year-old saw something going on. She said something to him about it. They got to arguing. Maybe he told her to shut up, be quiet, don't you say anything. And then, who knows, they could have actually got into a physical altercation, all 3 of the girls and him. He decided to go get a gun and shoot the kids. And then I guess he said, I'll get me one for the road. Let me rape this 12-year-old before I go out like a light. Is that how it went? This is a man. I think I can't be more amazed. Every day I go into this YouTube queue and find the worst stories imaginable. And this is one of them right here. This is definitely one of them. You think you can't be more amazed at the stuff that people do. And then here comes another damn story. I just brought you a story about a man doing the same in Maryland. I don't know if he's black, white, mixed, what he is. Raping men off a date site. Who does this? Raping a man, raping a man. There ain't no explanation logical for that. Because most people can't see 2 men together anyway. And you definitely can't imagine a man and a child together. Those just what's always been deemed taboo. Rape of a child, sexual relations between a man and a man. It was always more prevalent, women and women. But if you believe in the scripture, it's wrong either way. But it's just hard to visualize a man raping a damn man. Luring the men as if you're going to meet and greet. But you're there to rob them, rape one. The story I brought last night, please check the library for that said video. I uploaded last night, went live. Watched the man, tied him up. This is a weird story. Took this one to his house, watched him all night, and then made him drive him to the bank and emptied out his bank account, $4,500. Who does this? And think the man is not going to go to the police and tell. And then the other victim was an amputee. Took the man's crutches. Excuse me, I had to say walker. It's all the same, really. Throw the man out without a damn walker or crutches. Steal his car. And the man played dead, I guess, in the ditch. Asked to preserve his life. Scared. And so happened a deputy comes by and finds the man lying in the ditch. Amputee. You can't make this stuff up. And now we go back across the country to the West, where a dirty bird, 9 times out of 10, has been sexually assaulting these girls in his house. And he kills 3 of them, 2 sisters and a friend. rapes the other 12-year-old sister, kills himself, and the 12-year-old runs off with the 1-year-old niece to safety, or baby, whatever. Golly. Oh, my head. This stuff makes me sick. I brought you this story because it had an ending to it. One, I don't have to do many updates. A horrific ending nonetheless, of a dirty bird killing 3 innocent young girls. And he also murdered a baby. So that's 4 people that he killed. Including himself would be 5. But he doesn't count, of course. Because in my opinion, he deserved death. Frankly, he deserved an ass beating before death. And many people are fortunate that we do not have cruel and unusual punishment as we had back in the early days when settlers came to America and would hang you in the town square. Or we can go back to biblical days where you were stoned to death. Take your pick. Because even an electric chair is too kind to a diabolical, sinister being. My opinion. As I said before, did the mother have knowledge that this man had been sexually assaulting her children or any other children? Did she know of him having any type of demonic background dealing with sadism? Does he have a sexual background, criminal record? Is he a legal citizen? Was he a legal citizen? How long have they dated? Did he live in the house? Did she know that he was touching her children inappropriately or engaging in sexual relations with her children? Any other girls? Any other women? Any other boys? Hell, let's go there because everybody's on one right now. Sex is crossing with other sexes, same sex rather. Hell, was he gay, bisexual? I don't know. Because there's a lot of hanky-panky going on lately. And we're seeing a lot of that. Same sex, being assaulters of children. They're like triple offenders. Raping kids, raping women, raping men. They're just all over the place. So you don't even know what you're getting when you're lying down with people, meeting and greeting people, dating people. And this is why I tell you, you have to be careful of the company you keep. And this is a prime example. Not just a date site scenario. This is a situation of a woman having a dirty ass monster in her house with her kids, and he's a sadist. And sadly, a lot of people know that their children are being offended and they don't do anything and they don't stop it. Many children have gone to their parents and told them that somebody's touching them, raping them. They don't do anything. They still let the sadist stay around and be around. And even when the cat is out of the bag, the state's involved, the police is involved, they still will choose the sadist over their own children. You have to be a dirty MF to choose a rapist over your own child. I don't care if it's your brother, sister, cousin, boyfriend, husband, your child comes first. And if you don't have any respect for your child, you don't deserve to rear them or have possession of them. Because you can't say you're a good parent and you're allowing somebody to touch your child inappropriately or touch other children. So if you get allegations, here are allegations. He's touching other kids, raping women, men. You still want to lay with the rapist. The hell is wrong with you? But you have women who are so weak-minded that they'll just do anything to have a man. And I pray that this situation isn't what's been going on in this household. She's known all along that he's a sadist. She's seen the signs he's a sadist, but she kept him around any damn way. Because something popped off in that house for him to kill those girls. And 9 times out of 10, it was something nefarious, such as touching inappropriately, groping, sexual talk, all of the above. Then you have to ask how often the mother stayed away from the house. And once again, who was the father of the baby inside of the mother's womb? The 19-year-old. And who's the father of her 1-year-old that survived? Who's going to get custody of these kids if this mother is found unfit by the state to keep her 12-year-old and the 1-year-old grandchild? And will we find out that there have been sexual improprieties going on in that house with the decedent who killed himself? That's my commentary. Prayers for the surviving 12-year-old that she gets the physical and mental help she needs. Prayers for the 1-year-old child. I hope the mother did not have knowledge that this man had been raping and sexually fondling her children. If so, she doesn't deserve to have him, and she also needs to face charges. If there is proof she had knowledge that this man had been touching her children. And prayers to the other child that died alongside the 2 sisters, because there was no information in this article or audio of the parents of that said other girl child. This is horrific. It's horrific whether the friend was there or not, because this man had no right to kill these kids. And as I said, 9 times out of 10, it was for a nefarious reason that he killed them. But one's going to question why he spared the 12-year-old after raping her. If you see something, say something. Be a part of the solution and not the problem. Mind the children. There is no snitch rule when it comes to kids. And if you think that snitching is inappropriate when it comes to children, then have mercy on your soul. Because you were once a child. And you would not have wanted someone to be touching you inappropriately and making you do things that you did not want to do and doing nasty things to you as a child. And you would not want someone to do it to your children. I would hope not. But if you think it's okay to aid a pedophile or a sadist, then you are the same caliber and of the same cloth as a sadist. And I do believe it is time for people to also do time in prison for having knowledge of pedophilia. No more giving people passes. No more giving bonds, bails. First time you being accused of touching the child, yes, a thorough investigation in case somebody's making a false claim. But there is evident proof, video, surveillance, footage, text messaging. There needs to be no bond, no bail. If you are a repeat offender, allegation of sexual misdeeds with the child, grown up, no bail, no bond. And if you are found guilty of raping a child, molesting a child, your ass should get life in prison. No 15 years, no 10 years, no 7 years, no 20 to 40 years. No, your ass needs to die in jail. Because you are not safe to walk around civilized human beings. That's my commentary. Prayers for the surviving children. If you see something, seriously, say something. Thank you for listening to this content. If you need verification for the information, KHOU 11 is the source for the audio and the article. Be very careful of the company you keep, because you do not know people. And I'm saying that more and more now during the live stream due to the content that I have brought to this network. You don't know people, and you can't trust people. And no one is going to reveal to you their dirty sins, because who's going to admit to another human, another civilized human, that they fancy girl children and boy children? Well, why would they do that? But know that you are a party to the pedophilia if you don't do anything and you don't say anything. You are just as guilty as the pedophile. Donations to this network, $ Big Angie, 129 Cash App. Thank you for stickers and chats and support of this great network. Movie of the week is Sightless, now playing on Netflix. Thank you for your time. You have been listening to The Vault XL. I'll see you guys later with live number 2. That content will be pertaining to The Puppet Master. I'll see you guys later. Thank you.